what is happening to the Golden State Warriors? As you all know, the Warriors recently lost to the Phoenix Suns, which dropped them to a record of 7-9 and gives them a place of the 11th spot in the Western Conference. In today's video, we're going to be going through 5 key problems that we saw from the Golden State Warriors and Phoenix Suns game and how they can improve on these things to help them win another NBA championship. So make sure to like this video, and guys, 92% of you are still not subscribed to the channel, so it would mean the world if you could subscribe to the channel, hit that red button down below. The first is that Chris Paul should have avoided getting ejected. Now this is something that was absolutely massive for this game. Like I mentioned, the Phoenix Suns did only win 123-115, so it wasn't even that big of a blowout. They definitely were in the right spot to actually win this game, and I think if Chris Paul was able to stay out there, as he did only get 17 minutes of game time, I definitely do believe that they could have definitely won this game. When it came to CP3, in the 17 minutes, he was able to get 6 assists, 2 rebounds, and also 6 points. So he was having himself a great game to start off that first half, and I do believe when it comes to CP3, what he is capable of doing is definitely closing out games very well, especially against his old team, the Phoenix Suns. And I think this played a huge part due to the fact that CP3 was definitely leading the offense when it came to just structuring everyone, not really in a sense of scoring, but really getting everyone involved, and that's one of the reasons why players like Klay Thompson was able to drop 27 points or 23 points in this game. So when it came to Chris Paul, I think he did a fantastic job, but I do believe he maybe should have had said those words that he did say to Foster. Now I'm not going to repeat exactly what he said to Foster, but let's just say it wasn't family friendly. And when it came to the beef he does have with Foster as a ref, I do understand his frustration towards it, but on the same time, I think Chris Paul definitely needed to be smarter in that situation, because this is definitely a crucial game ever since, you know, the Golden State Warriors haven't been able to string a lot of wins together. So they're definitely looking to try to get back into the right shape, and I do believe that CP3 definitely needs to be able to not get ejected or not get fouled out or any of those reasons, because he's going to be a huge asset for this team, especially since the fact that he has been moving into the starting position, you know, starting 5, running that point guard position, having Curry being able to move off the ball. It's definitely opened up a lot of Curry and Thompson to be able to score more, and I think it definitely does work if they can get the sweet spot right with how to play this starting 5. So when it came to this game, I definitely do think they had the ability to close it out, especially if Chris Paul was still there, and this is something that is, you know, obviously unfortunate in that way. The second is that the Golden State Warriors need Draymond Green back. Now, as you all know, Draymond Green is suspended for a couple more games, but they definitely need him out there, because you definitely see when it comes to Golden State Warriors defense, yes, it is really good at times, but they don't have that defensive leader that they definitely need, which is what Draymond Green is made for this team. Like we've talked about before, Draymond may not give you 25 points, 14 rebounds, or 20 assists. However, Draymond, what he does out there so well is definitely leading this team and also leading the defensive side of things. Andrew Wiggins is a great defender, do not get me wrong, so is Klay Thompson, Kevon Looney, but they definitely need that guidance from someone who has experience and that has very high IQ, and that is definitely what Draymond Green does. I think Chris Paul does the same when it comes to offense. Offensively, CP3 is definitely a high IQ player, and Draymond Green defensively is definitely very well and very highly educated when it comes to how to play defense right. And I definitely do see a huge difference when it comes to the Warriors defense when Green is out there compared to when he's not. And like I always say, guys, defense wins games, and there's a reason for that, because I do believe in the last couple of minutes with Phoenix Suns, we definitely needed a lot more defense from the Golden State Warriors to be able to close it out. Now, if we look at some of the percentages for the Golden State Warriors compared to actually the Phoenix Suns, the Phoenix Suns were actually able to shoot a little bit better from the 3 line. Now, they did shoot 39.3%, while the Golden State Warriors shot 31%, and because of that big difference of 8%, and also it being a 3-pointer, it definitely played a lot into the final score of this game. So Draymond needs to definitely get out there as soon as possible. Obviously, we need to wait until his suspension is over, but I do believe that the Golden State Warriors can definitely come back once Draymond is back out there. They definitely look a little bit more lost out there on defense. Yes, it is tough to see, but I do believe that they have the capabilities to still be a great defensive team and turn this season around very quick. The third is that the Golden State Warriors need to see more scoring from Jonathan Kuminga. Now, as you all know, Jonathan Kuminga, this is his season to definitely show out, as he is getting quite a lot of minutes now, and I think now is the time for Jonathan Kuminga and also add Moses Moody to that mix to be able to start providing scoring from that bench. Now, when it came to the Warriors, obviously the starters such as Steph, Klay Thompson are going to give you buckets here and there, but where I definitely need to see a lot more scoring from is definitely the bench players. Now, Dario Saric has done a fantastic job. He did actually have 17 points this game, and he also had above 15 points over the last couple of games as well. He's done a fantastic job, but when it comes to the bench, no one else scored above 10 points besides Dario Saric and Brandon Podziemski. Now, don't get me wrong, Podziemski is a great player, and he is definitely getting there when it comes to fitting in with this team and showing what he's capable of. But when it comes to players like Kuminga and also Moses Moody, who are destined to be great scorers and also can give you a bucket here and there, I definitely want to see them be more of an aggressive asset out there on the floor, as it doesn't make it so predictable if Dario Saric is the one shooting, Podziemski, Curry, all these other players. I think that's very important for any team. Everyone needs to be able to score at will if given the right opportunity, and I think that is something that Kuminga and Moody definitely need to start pushing on. Now, they were getting quite a few shots. Now, if we look at Kuminga specifically, he actually did take 7 attempts. He did make 3, so he did shoot pretty well, but I definitely can see a lot more from Kuminga in the 21 minutes that he played. If we look at someone like Dario Saric, who went 6 from 9 and was able to score 17, which is what we like to see, I think Kuminga definitely can step it up in that offensive department, and so can the other bench players in general, specifically also Moses Moody. It is definitely their year. They've had a couple of years to be able to develop into a great player and have the guidance that they needed, and now is the time for them to step up, be that player that they need, especially not just during the season, but also in the playoffs and hopefully into the NBA Finals. The fourth is that the Golden State Warriors need to learn how to shoot more consistently. Now, as you all know, the Warriors are a great shooting team. They have Curry, who's considered the best shooter in the world, and also have Klay Thompson, who could be considered the second greatest shooter ever. And because of this, they definitely need to continue to improve on their percentages, especially when it comes to efficiency, scoring from the field. Now, they did do a fantastic job when it came to field goal as a whole, as they did shoot 47% compared to Phoenix Suns, where they shot 44. But where it gets interesting is also when it came to actually the three-point line. Now, as you all know, Warriors are a three-point shooting team, but they only shot 31% compared to Golden State Warriors, and compare that to the Phoenix Suns, where they actually shot 39%. So you definitely see a huge difference when it comes to that 8% difference, and I think that definitely plays a huge part. But where it gets even more interesting, guys, is the free throws. Now, as you all know, the Warriors actually took 29 attempts, and they actually shot 65% from the field, or from the free throw line in that sense, and the Phoenix Suns shot 84% from the free throw line and also took 52 attempts. So you definitely saw the Phoenix Suns go more to the line, but on top of that, they even shot a higher percentage. To put it even into more perspective, the Warriors actually hit 19 free throws, while the Phoenix Suns hit 44 free throws. Okay, 44 points came from the free throw line. So this definitely does say a lot when it comes to the way Golden State Warriors play. Yes, they may not get to the hole a lot. It's a lot of three balls, but if they are given the opportunity to shoot the free throw, they need to be able to hit it consistently. If you actually consider, the Warriors shooting around that 85%, which is what the Phoenix Suns shot, then you definitely see a much closer game, and it could definitely have gone either way. And I think the Warriors would have been able to close it out much, much better. So free throws definitely played a huge aspect to it. And when it came to, things such as three-point efficiency out there, it's definitely something that the Warriors need to work on. The Warriors do get the right shots. You definitely saw that all night. They weren't forcing anything, but I think, when it comes to, other players besides Curry and Klay Thompson, if it comes to Wiggins, if it also comes to CP3, or even someone like Jonathan Kuminga, if they are open on the three, they need to be able to hit that consistently, because that's the only way they're going to continue to win and continue to get better. The fifth is that Stephen Curry needs to continue to play at a high level. Now, I know this is very slack to say on someone like Steph. Steph has done so much for the Golden State Warriors, do not get me wrong. However, Golden State Warriors definitely need Steph to lead this team, and he needs to be averaging, 25, 30 points per game if they want to actually have a shot at winning an NBA title. Now, I know it is a lot to ask for Steph, especially since Steph is getting older. It is definitely getting harder, but I do believe Curry definitely has the capabilities to still get it done. Now, he did have a little bit of a cold game this game. He did have 16 points, but he did shoot 1 from 8 from the 3 and also 6 from 15 from the field as a whole. Now, he also did get 6 assists and 3 rebounds, which is not too bad, but he also did get 2 turnovers. Now, don't get me wrong, I think Steph is still a great player, and it is just one game, but they need to start getting wins together, because they have fallen so far in that Western Conference. They're pretty much oscillating between that 10th and 11th place, and because of that, it does make a huge problem. The more losers that they do end up getting over the next couple of games can definitely set them up for a big problem down the line, as they do have quite a hard schedule ahead. Now, Phoenix Suns is obviously a really good team, and even though they haven't really performed the way that people have expected them to, Suns are still a very strong team with KD, with Devin Booker, and all these big players. But I do believe Warriors still have an opportunity to be able to bounce back from all of this and be able to actually win a couple of games and get back into that top 8. Now, I do believe the Warriors don't need to be in the top 5 or top 3 or anything like that to really show anything. I definitely need to just have them in that playoff spot, and I do believe they will be able to get the job done and can make it to the finals. And they did that when they most recently won the finals against the Boston Celtics. You know, they weren't the top team or anything of that nature. No one really expected them to win, and I do believe if Warriors given the opportunity to play in the playoffs, they can definitely get it done and be able to win a ring, no doubt about it. But if that's the case, the Warriors not only just need to step it up, but Stephen Curry himself needs to be playing at that high elite level that we always know Steph Curry can play at. And we need to see prime 2016 Steph Curry back very, very soon.